Oh, shit.
Oh, man. I feel like we haven't done this in forever.
2 weeks?
It feels
Sorry,
like
I was
it,
taking
man.
a drink.
And you killed it last time.
Killed it. We haven't even released that one yet.
There was like 20 people.
Oh, you mean live?
All right.
Well, we're not taking a break this time.
You about to go when you
right,
see
here
you
we-
on the screen.
I don't see us.
I see our logo.
Oh, there we are.
It's a slow progression. All right, welcome to the After Two Beers podcast recording. If you're lucky enough to be watching us live, we greatly appreciate you tuning in. We're gonna get started here in a second. Gibbler, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, here we
I
go.
did a little shot and had a little sippy sip, and
All right,
I'm good to go.
here we go. How many? Do we have any viewers?
You have 4 right now.
Oh, there we go.
Four.
That's
Welcome.
a good start. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Welcome to the After Two Beers podcast. I'm Dutch Dalton, joined as always by Kimmy Gibbler.
That's me.
If you haven't listened to our podcast before, basically what Gibbler and I do is we have a couple drinks, hence the name After Two Beers, and it kind of takes off any reserve you would have in discussing real matters of the heart.
Gets rid of what filter is left
Right,
of us.
right. So if you're watching at home with us, make sure you go to the refrigerator real quick, or I don't know, maybe you keep it on the side of the house where your wife can't see them. Just go grab whatever you want to drink, have a couple shots with us, and hang out. And what we talk about is just the stuff you wouldn't normally see on the nightly news, stuff that's a little different. And we're really just here to hang out with you, have a good time. Maybe you can't get out this week, so you can hang out with us.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So coming up on tonight's show, we're going to talk about summer faux pas.
Summer faux pas.
Yeah, I literally just made a list together, and I'm hoping that the people watching, like our buddy Josh and Mark, buddies, have suggestions on things that they get irritated by the other humans during the summer.
In the summer, it depends how hot it is and how irritated you
Yeah,
are.
we're going to start using this show as therapy for people. We're going to start calling out people that do things in normal day-to-day life that other people deep down can't stand,
Oh
but
man.
you never get to hear about it. Now we're going to let you know. And look how dark I look on this thing. I look like Batman.
Speaking of,
Right. Coming up, we have Gibbler's Giblets as well.
Yeah, I've got
And
those.
in the news, we're going very news-heavy focus. I went back and watched an old show, and I had no idea how boring some of the old history segments. So I actually have 5 stories this week. So the first story, a marriage proposal goes horribly wrong at a baseball game.
Oh no.
It's really good. I mean, because nothing says intelligent like getting someone trying to propose at a baseball game.
And then obviously they get denied.
No, they.
Oh.
It gets
Okay.
better. This, we got Virginia inmates escape jail and are apprehended in an odd place.
Okay.
My third one, which this scares the shit out of me, and anyone watching or listening, if you listen to the podcast as well, this scares me. Cameras are everywhere today, and
Oh, yeah.
even when you think that you are not being watched, you're being watched, and even at the most vulnerable times of your life. And by vulnerable, I mean
The bathroom?
A woman was on a boat
Oh, okay.
and had an unexpected bathroom emergency. Yeah, we got that story coming up.
Oh man.
All right, I got one.
Okay.
Ladies, have you ever felt like you should receive some pay for taking care of the house?
No.
No? Well, a judge in Spain thinks you should. Wait until you hear how much a woman is getting in a divorce settlement for 25 years of housework.
Oh wow.
And I promise you, there will be a lot of people using this case as ammunition in the future. And lastly, what is something you strive to do 10 times a month? Is there anything like exercise?
Put my laundry away.
Work out, read, make a homemade dinner.
I do read. Like I
Yeah?
have been making a point to start reading more, cooking more at home. I don't know.
Well, we're going to tell you about a man in California that accomplished something 10 times in a month that most people would never pick. It's not good.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, it's good. Before we get started, I want to make sure we thank our Patreon sponsors. If you go to our webpage, after2beers.com, it's an opportunity for you to kind of help us out. Throw a tip in the old tip jar, if you will, and or buy us a shot that way. It really, it's just like a subscription to YouTube, or not YouTube, rather, Facebook, or not Facebook. Why do I keep up social media? Like Netflix.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but it's like $1 a month. It's cheap. $3 a month, $10 a month, whatever you want to give us. We would greatly appreciate it. We also want to make sure we thank our buddy Kevin Shook and everyone down here at the East Studios. It's an amazing place. Reach out to Kevin if you're looking to do your own podcast. There's great equipment. You can do audio versions, video versions, a combination of the two. The guy can go out and do live streams, whatever you need. So pretty kick-ass. Make sure you go to after2beers.com. You can find links to our social media pages, all the ones I've already named off at an inappropriate time. And you can find links to our past episodes. We're coming up on 150 episodes that are on this version. We have some that will never be released ever. Actually, you know what I've thought about?
That should be like a pay-per release because
I think
those are really. I'm not gonna lie.
That should be the Patreon version.
There were some that were quite raunchy.
I've got all the raunchy ones recorded, and I
man.
could release those on Patreon. Like, we're talking questions that should have not been allowed
Never.
in public,
No.
especially at a bar in North Carolina. That
That looked like an Applebee's.
yeah. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
the questions we were asked in the
man.
old Anyway,
And of course, being a female, a lot of times the questions were targeted to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what your favorite?
Yeah, we're not going to go
Anyway,
into that.
All right. Anyway, I do have those. If we ever make it big, I'm going to release those again.
Oh my gosh. Act now.
No, right.
And you can
anyway.
get a sneak preview.
Oh. All right. Anyway, let's jump into our summer no-nos. We've got people watching this live. I've made a quick little list here of things that I consider to be summer no-nos. And I'm interested to see if people watching or if you're listening to the podcast, what we'd love for you to do is interact with us. Come join us. You're actually able to come
Yeah.
down here. Send us a personal message. We'll let you know where we record live, and you can come. If you're watching the show or if you like the show, you listen to the podcast, share us. That would be a great thing for you to do. And also rate the show. Give us a rating, give us a review, and we would greatly appreciate that as well. All right, Gibble, are you ready for a summer no-nos?
I'm ready for the no-nos.
I had to get a drink. All right, now it's funny. Now these are very dude related because I'm a dude, and I put these together. So I'm interested to hear if, from a female's perspective, if there's some that I'm missing.
Okay.
Because my first 5 are all about mowing grass. All right, here's the first one. And I posted a meme on our Facebook page about this. And this is a big one for me. So you live next to a neighbor that's very close, as do I.
Uh-huh.
And we share this like common island of grass.
Uh-huh.
Right? And I've had this, I think, almost everywhere I've lived. And you have this common grass island. And when you mow, I mow the whole thing.
Yeah, you might as well.
Well, and I pay a guy now. Shout out to Lee. I pay a guy, but I ask him to mow the whole thing. Have you ever lived next to a neighbor that would only mow their half of it?
No.
Oh, I have. And it's infuriating to me. It's the most, I don't give a fuck about your yard
Right.
that you can do to somebody is to say, I would rather your yard look like shit than mine because I'm going to mow just my part.
Oh, yeah. Now, I have had one of those neighbors that, like, blew the grass towards my direction and then didn't clean it up.
So did it land on like cement?
Yeah, like my
Okay.
sidewalk.
That's another one I've got. If you're mowing your yard, blow your shit into your own yard.
Yeah, or at least just clean up afterwards.
Well, don't blow it on the road either.
Oh, that's irritating, too.
Well, it's dangerous for motorcycle drivers.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's dangerous, and it's just tacky.
Nothing says I don't give a shit about anybody else. Like blowing your shit right out in the road and just like, bleh. That's
Or
your
when they
problem now.
when they're mowing and they blow the shit out while traffic is coming by.
Right. At least shut the blades off.
Right.
This isn't the most white person like topic I've ever picked. I got another one. You live next to somebody. How tall is their yard before you start bitching? Like they haven't mowed it in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
It's gone to seed.
It's gone to seed.
Cats can like stalk birds and not be seen.
I've not had neighbors that have let that happen.
Would it piss you off? Yes, it would.
Kinda,
Yes.
Because if that's the whole thing. Is a lot of times it's like, okay, so your neighbors' of house appearance affect like your own,
Yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah.
know, your curb appeal.
Curb appeal. I get it. You spend all day. It was funny when I was married before. We had this little house in this little cul-de-sac kind of deal, and there was a lady that was retired. And if a weed even thought of coming up, she was out front, like cutting it with a pair of scissors. It was amazing. And our yard was catty corner to it, right? And like, I'm like, man, I haven't weed eaten in a month.
You have no idea, like one of your best friends, JP, how like crazy he is. Today, before, like, he was probably almost late to work because he was like, no, that dandelion's not going to happen in my yard.
Right? I'm telling
He
you.
was out pulling dandelions today.
All right. I'm telling you, nothing pisses a white dude off like a dandelion popping up in his yard. All right. Can we establish a set time to mow the lawn? What's the earliest that your neighbor starts mowing that you don't get pissed?
8.
8 in the morning. So at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, well, you should be at work.
Well,
Saturday.
I think that what it is on Saturdays when people get up and start mowing at like 7. I'm like, seriously, you couldn't have waited just like 1 hour.
So 8 o'clock is okay?
8 o'clock's fine.
I would love to hear what people think of this.
Because
I'm
a
not
lot of
saying
people
you're wrong.
no. I know that I'm probably wrong because honestly, if it was me that's mowing, it's like, let's get that shit done, let's get it going, and then get on with the rest of my day. But I don't know.
AJ's normally in the control room, and she she gives us comments that we need. And the thing from Michael Summers, I want to kiss Dutch. I don't even.
Yeah, I'm
know-
not going to say I want to kiss Dutch.
I don't even know where that joke comes from, but I just love it. Love me some pudding. All right. Where were we at? Time to mow the lawn. Okay, here's another one. Flip-flops aren't for everyone.
No, if your feet look like you should be, you can actually like dip into the water and catch your dinner.
I've seen. Oh,
Or
my God.
if your heel is crusty and like can cut through concrete.
I'm all for comfort, but you also have to think of the other man and people you have to interact with during the day, because some of these feet are bad.
Oh man!
If your
It's
toes
so-
crisscross applesauce, you should not be wearing flip-flops. Oh man, if you got more corns in an Indiana field in the summer, probably shouldn't be wearing flip-flops. All right,
you could sand concrete with your heels.
and these are just the ones I've come up with. I'm anxious to hear other people's. No one, even dudes, want booby sweat wet money.
No, it's disgusting.
Oh,
Ugh.
I'll just pull out a dollar bill.
So my first job out of high school, I'm going to show my age, obviously, but I was collecting money for phone bills. You know, that's back when everybody had a home phone, right? Installing bag phones in people's cars. I'm old, okay? But no, I don't know how many times that I would get titty money.
Titty money.
Titty money, and then sometimes it was the worst where it was like
Snap those.
stinky pee money.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like it was kept in the prison.
It was in their back pocket, but they were not sanitary.
So gross.
Yeah.
Is there nothing nastier than a wet dollar bill?
Oh, there were.
No, I mean,
because
when-
we had people, so we rented phones, right?
Yeah.
Like home phones. And like we had to immediately have them drop them into bags and seal them off because there were more instances than I can remember that like somebody would put their phone down on the desk and then roaches and shit would start crawling out.
Oh. There's a lot of dirty people out
There's a
there.
lot of dirty people out there.
People are nasty.
Yeah. Anywho.
All right. Here's my last one that I came up with. I don't need to see your feet if you're at a swimming pool.
What?
Women love to take a picture of their feet if they're at a
Oh, the
pool.
hot dog legs?
Or if they're at a bee. It's like, hey, I want to tell you how much fun I'm having while you're not here. And I can't just take a picture of a random pool. I have to show you my toes in the process.
Well, they just spent money getting those things done. They're like polished to perfection.
I don't need
It's
to.
normally the hot dog legs. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I do know exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. You can always tell like how confident a woman is by at which the picture cuts off on the thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more confident
So
she
you don't
is,
see hail damage, but
you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Now,
I
do-
got hail damage.
Yeah. Well, no, that's
kidding.
not what I'm saying. So I'm asking you now, are there anything like that just drives you nuts in the summer?
You call them wife beaters, I call them under overshirts, because like when people just wear that as a shirt, it's so gross. I don't care if you're built like
Just a white
Jason
t-shirt?
Momoa. The white tank tops,
You mean the
the,
tank
the
top ones?
ribbed, the wife beaters.
Oh, yeah.
I hate them. I've always hated them. It does not matter how hot or not hot you are. They're a no-no.
It's funny to me that it's got a name about one of the worst things that you can do and everybody's cool with it.
Right.
Right? It's like, hey man, don't wear them dog killing shorts. I mean, people would flip out, and I'm like, oh, you mean my cargo shorts? Or my Michael Vick jersey.
Oh my gosh.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about wife beaters.
Right.
But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in Wayne County.
I mean, you've watched enough episodes of Cops that you know that a lot of them, they're like standing in their yard with their fuzzy slippers, shorts, and a wife beater on, be like, I don't know what the hell happened. She came in here busting down my door.
Anything else that jumps out at you? I'd love to hear from our listeners, our viewers. Let us know what your fashion, not even fashion, just general.
General.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. That's where the 2 shots of
Genuine
Fireball and
and
the
general.
third beer are kicking in already. Yeah, this is more authentic than after 2 beers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's just a start. That's the minimum to get going. Anyway, all right.
Oh, I know another one.
Okay.
I'm just going to put it out there. We understand that you have a sweet-ass crotch rocket, but you don't need to rev it up at the red lights. Dude, we get it. You got a nice motorcycle, whatever, but you don't have to rev it.
Is
Like,
there?
what's the purpose?
Do you ever?
Like, is there a real purpose? Like, maybe I just don't know because I don't drive one.
No.
But typically, they're like trying to look badass and like, here.
It's so true. How about the guys that slow creep the swimming pool in the summers in their cars? You know that they probably have to talk to their neighbors before.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't go to public pools.
No? Are you
No.
not a public pool person?
I'm not a public pool person.
What if you're
No.
on vacation?
No, on the vacation, yeah, but not like
Not locals.
not a municipal pool.
That's funny. That's when you know you live in like a questionable area. Is when you're like, I don't want to swim with these people. I'll swim with other people.
No, I just know that like
What's the question in English? Missy Meyer is so right. I struggled with that one. The more I drink, the fatter my tongue gets, apparently. All right, Giblet, are you ready for your giblets?
okay, let's get to them.
All
Hold
right.
on, let me find them. All right. So you're left-handed, right?
I am.
Yeah. Guess who else is left-handed? All
Polar
of
bears.
these people.
Oh, yeah.
Well, polar bears might be too. I don't know.
You told us that 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But Jay-Z,
Okay.
50 Cent, Tupac, Dr. Dre, and Eminem are all left-handed.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should be able to spit out some better rhymes, buddy. You can't even say genuinely.
Genuinely. I just got it right. You know, the funny part is at first you kept naming off people, and I'm like, I've got nothing in common with these
Nothing
people.
other than left-handedness.
And then you said Eminem, and I'm like, all right, well, there's the one. All right, I did not know that.
Yeah, they're all left-handed.
Very interesting.
All right. John F. Kennedy. He ordered over 1,000 Cuban cigars for personal use right before he made them illegal.
That's hilarious.
Right?
That's insider trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, Martha Stewart went to prison for that.
No shit. That's genius on his part.
It is genius, but
Well,
man.
joke's on him. He didn't get to sit around and smoke them.
No, he got smoked.
Oh, jeez. Nah, it's after 2 beers.
It's after 2 beers. All right. Fingernails grow faster than toenails.
Okay.
This is because fingernails are exposed to more trauma and stress, which stimulates nail growth.
Okay, I did not know that.
Right? As much trauma and stress as I've dealt with, I should have like really long nails. But no.
I'm sure a lot of
Apparently,
people think that.
fingernails grow faster than toenails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this one's going to hit home to you.
Uh-oh.
So a Canadian man named Corey Braden from Nanaimo, British Columbia, recently broke the world record for the longest video game marathon by playing Call of Duty,
Oh, man.
the Warzone, for 145 hours straight
Oh, my God. I bet
on his PS5.
that's impressive.
But he hasn't yet clinched the official Guinness Book of World Records title yet.
145 hours.
145 hours. So they actually did say that for every 60 minutes of play, Braden was allowed a 10-minute break.
To take a piss or clean out his pants.
Right?
I mean, seriously, you gotta drop a deuce or pee.
Yeah.
And your
He's
mom.
having to rush that.
Well, and you sure his mom is like, "Hey, hurry up down there! You're taking up all the
Yeah,
Wi-Fi."
I would be interested in knowing if he's like more like your
How many
your
hours
age
how
or-
many days is that? What's the math on that? 145.
I don't know.
That's a lot.
I-
That's a significant amount of time. Like,
Yeah,
he's
because-
clearly on drugs, and I'm not trying to be like funny about that. You've got to be on something that allows you to stay awake that long.
Well, probably more impressive that the record that is currently held is somebody playing the Just Dance 2015 for 138 hours and 34 minutes.
God,
Could you imagine dancing? Like, you can sit there and
pew pew pew.
cram. But, like, dancing and stuff for 138 hours straight,
That's impressive.
like, they have to have some of that booger sugar.
Oh my, they have to, right?
Something like, there's no
Oh,
way.
I bet you they don't have a tooth in their mouth.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
All right,
So
Gibbler.
anyway, that was another one. Jennifer Lawrence. Do you know who Jennifer Lawrence is?
The actor?
Yes, actress. Yeah. She loves Doritos so much that she almost ruined some of her dresses on the set of American Hustle with Dorito dust. So the wardrobe department had to make multiples of each dress so she would always have a clean one to wear.
She just wipe them on her leg or something?
Apparently, or just like eating it and then the Dorito dust
falls down into the Cleveland.
falls on the dress.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's that much of a Dorito eater.
Do you have a favorite Dorito flavor?
I just like the basic nacho cheese.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Cool Ranch all the way.
Really?
Absolutely. I'd like to, and nacho cheese is by far their most favorite as
Yeah.
far as sales and things go. But Cool Ranch is
You're
for
a
me.
Cool Ranch guy,
Not
huh?
even close.
Huh.
I love the
Cool
Cool
Ranches
Ranch.
are just okay for me.
What?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always things that, like, I'm like, yeah, they're just okay. Like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is just okay.
Andy Floyd said there's enough preservatives.
And
That's
a
what.
bag of Doritos to mummify a small dog.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably true.
Well, then good news. I'll be mummified 10 times over.
We're just going to sprinkle... Your ashes are going to be with some cool Ranch Dorito crumbs.
I'm mummified just walking around.
Right?
Right? And everybody I hang out with, all their organs are pickled. So it's,
We have good friends.
right? I'm basically RoboCop, but without the metal shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so this one I find a little bit creepy, but like it's interesting. So like you know how you get a picture taken and like people's eyes are red?
Yeah.
So you get red eyes in pictures because your pupil is just a hole and the flash reflects the blood in the back of your eyes.
That creeps you out.
That's weird. That's what you're seeing is like people's blood in the back of their eye.
Better than somebody else's.
Well, that's true. That's on my shovel. Oh, what? What we were talking about?
Oh, jeez.
I'm joking. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
that got hostile fast.
Couple more.
All right.
All right. Groomsmen were originally at weddings to protect the bride from being captured by another suitor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
apparently they had an issue where, like, I guess that's probably also where it comes into play when they're like, does anybody have a problem with this marriage happening?
This sounds more like a cowboy would ride in and steal her, and like those guys were like keeping guard. This is some Wild West shit.
I don't know. Like, it says another suitor.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I mean. Like somebody's
yeah,
walking.
like somebody is just like, nope, I'm going to take her to be mine.
This sounds like one of those forced marriages kind of deals. No, I'm serious.
It may be.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just interesting facts.
Yeah.
Now, this one,
I just thought groomsmen were there to get so drunk that you as the husband are like, well, look at those guys. I didn't get as
right,
messy.
I didn't do that.
That's why I took Brad Brooks to Vegas with me. Didn't work out though. No. Love that man.
All right, last one. How about that?
Okay.
This one's very After 2 Beers fashion.
Okay.
So, Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
you know the guy.
Absolutely.
What's he most known for?
Cussing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, he has a stutter.
Yeah, I knew that. We've talked about that on our podcast.
Oh, shit. I must have been sleeping during that history lesson
We've done so many shows.
that I forget what the hell we've talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
he struggled with it throughout his youth until he learned to pretend to be other people who don't stutter.
Yeah.
So that's how he kind of learned how to be an actor. But eventually he realized
Did you
that
say
he's
actory?
acting. Hey, genuinely.
I know. I fucked it up.
I thought you were trying to say General Lee. Anyway,
I used to love that show.
so eventually he realized that he's never had trouble with his favorite word, motherfucker. So he says it to himself every day, even if it's only under his breath, and it helps him improve his speech.
That isn't that impressive, though, honestly. I say motherfucker under my breath all the time.
All day, every day, anyway.
All the time.
But the fact that that could make you lose your stutter, don't get mad at your kids for saying it every once in a while.
This motherfucker.
They're just trying to fix their speech.
I wish a motherfucker would.
Johnny Newkirk, hey.
yeah.
Josh Morrison, what's up?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you jumping in on the
Yes.
show. Are you ready for some news?
I'm ready for the news.
We're going to keep going because we've got some viewers in, and normally this is where we would take a pause, but we're going to go ahead and keep striving forward. Now, I've got 5 stories, which I think is the most we've ever done. And I had so many this week, we've even got honorable mentions.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right.
So are you saving the best for the last?
No, I just in no particular order.
Okay.
Here's our first one. This is an honorable mention. So we're not going to dive into these, but these are things that you might find of interest that you may want to look up. Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream is available at Walmart until May.
Oh, please tell me that was just an April Fool's joke.
No, it's legit. This actually was released before April Fool's.
Ew.
Yeah,
That's the most Midwest thing I've heard since Ope.
I've heard that's good. I've heard people like dipping pretzels in it.
I could see that.
Oh, there you go. All right, there's your first
Well,
one.
shit.
If you want more on that one, you can. We have a doggy door at our house.
Uh-huh.
Bobcat in Arizona was found in a doggy bed. Came through the door, beat up the dog before it ran. The owner found it laying in the bed. The dog was over there. Like, dog's fine. But,
Could you imagine if a bobcat crawled up into your bed and was just like,
Oh, my God. We have so many raccoons around our house. Like, think about that shit. They can just walk right in.
No, they've actually had to start making different doggy door things to where, like, it only opens if they have, like, a certain
A collar. Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there's been so many issues with different raccoon, skunk, whatever.
Yeah. So feel free to look up that story.
Yeah.
If you're interested. A company in, I think it's in Europe, called VOW, V-O-W, created a meatball made out of mammoths. They have the genetic code, and they are creating lab-created meat now that was growing on top of itself, and they produced a meatball that was between the size of a softball and a volleyball of mammoth meat.
That's just weird.
It's the future. Lab-made meat. It's coming. I'm telling you. All right, here's another one. Colts owner Jim Irsay donated millions of dollars to help free a killer whale that's in Miami right now. They're going to release it in the Pacific Ocean, I believe, next year. And this whale has been in captivity for over 50 years.
It's not going to know how to...
Hell no. And honestly, I think
You're sending it out to be butchered.
I think this is a horrible idea.
I think it's terrible.
It reminds me of when they let Brooks out of Shawshank.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. He's like, I don't know how to live in that kind of life.
Yeah, it's not going to work out at all. All right, look into that story. And he paid millions of dollars. We don't have a quarterback yet.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
all right.
spend money on that silly
And
shit.
here's our final honorable mention. A 21-year-old in Texas said a ghost pushed a grocery cart into his 2012 Ford Mustang, and it caused $25,000 in damage. First of all, that car's not worth $25,000.
No.
There's video of it. He walks by it, and the cart's just sitting there, and then all of a sudden it turns and goes straight to his car and
Shut
hits
up.
it. I'm dead serious. Look it up if you want to look into it. He had gone ghost hunting the day before, and he thinks it's a child ghost.
And it's just following him.
It literally was just sitting there. And the funny part is he works there, and then he went back in later to look at the video. And the whole time I'm like, man, maybe if you just put that into the corral, this wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, that's one of my biggest irritations ever.
All right. So those are our honorable mentions going into tonight. So here's our first story. And we've actually got video of this if you're watching this live. So you can watch us. We try to record on Tuesday nights, typically around 8 o'clock, sometimes on Wednesdays. But if you follow us on Facebook, you'll know exactly when we go live so you can watch these videos.
We should plan it ahead of time in case people do want to come up here, though.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. So here's our first story. And I'm interested to get your opinion on this and others if people are watching. What do you think if you were getting proposed to at a Major League Sporting event? Would it bother you, or would you be cool with it? Would you like it? You're a sports fan.
I mean, I think it's kind of cool, but I think it's a bit over the top.
Yeah.
Like, it's too impersonal.
It's it is very impersonable, right? There's thousands of people
Right.
there. Well, a marriage proposal at Dodger Stadium went terribly wrong on Thursday when an LA fan stormed the field and was tackled by security during the team's 8-2 win over the Diamondbacks on opening day. Here's the video if you're watching
I gotta
this live.
see this.
Now, this is where we're going to sound like the Joe Rogan podcast. We're like, oh, go to YouTube for this. But all right, see, here's the guy. He jumps over the fence. He holds the ring up. And it just gets leveled.
Damn. They didn't have to treat him so bad. Man alive. He was just chilling.
Right. In viral videos on social media, Ricardo Juarez, who's seen wearing a Mookie Betts jersey, appeared to jump over the outfield wall and sprint to center field before getting down on one knee and hoisting a ring box in the air. As the crowd cheered for him, a security officer blindsided the kneeling Juarez with an NFL-like tackle, knocking his hat off the ground. Three more security guards pinned down the on-field intruder and appeared to handcuff him. Multiple videos online showed the melee from various angles. In a fan-captured film, the outfielder for the Diamondbacks can even be seen reacting to the man by throwing his arms up in the air. The guy got drilled.
He got drilled. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The great news, she did say yes. He wrote on his Instagram.
After she posted bail just to get the ring back.
It's not known if he was injured in the incident. When I watched that video, and actually I heard other people commenting on this as well, you have to think as a security guard, that's your dream, right?
Right.
You want someone to run on the field because you want to make that tackle. You want to
That
be...
was that might have been a little excessive.
Well, this guy got lucky, right? Because he didn't even move. He was a steel object. And I have to think that when that guy took off, there was 2 or 3 others that were immediately behind him. And they're racing each other to see.
Because they're thinking that he's going to get up and run.
Maybe.
So I think that's probably why he had the speed.
Oh, he absolutely destroyed
You know, we
this
could
guy.
talk about the velocity and all of that, but like, no, that was some serious impact.
Oh, my gosh. I haven't seen a hit that's hard since I watched Waterboy. Oh, it was
Somebody
impressive.
signed that guy on to the
No
daggone
shit.
Chicago Bears or something. My gosh.
All right. Here's our second story. This comes to us, I think it was from Virginia. John M. Garza, 37, and Arlie Nemo, 43, were rearrested in late March, hours after they broke out from the Newport News jail annex, the Newport News Sheriff Office said. I don't know of a jail that's called the Newport News Jail. That right there seems pretty nickel dime, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it used to be in a newspaper, and now they're
It's giving me the vibes of like what was the movie with Jim Carrey in it when he was like a Rhode Island.
Me, Myself, and I.
Yes,
Irene.
yes. I'm like, oh well, maybe that was like a Newport News.
I always think of that scene where the next day where he goes to pee, and women don't understand this. But every now and then, as a guy, you'll just get random streams just going in different directions. It looks like Kings Island when you first walk in and all the water is going everywhere. Anyway, jail staff members discovered Garza and Nemo were missing from their cell during a routine head count at 7:15 on Monday. Authorities believe the two men had a construction design weakness in the wall and created a primitive made tools constructed from a toothbrush and a metal object to escape. I totally butchered that whole paragraph.
You completely shit the bed on that one. So bad.
All right, let me reread it here.
Would you like some assistance?
No shit. Jail staff members discovered Garza and Nemo were missing from their cell during a routine head count at 7:15 on Monday. Got that one. Yeah, that one. Authorities believe the two men found a construction design weakness in the wall and created primitive man-made tools.
Shank.
Exactly. That's exactly what these tools facilitated their access to untied rebar between the walls. Once gaining access to the rebar, they used it to further make their escape. Once outside, but still within the containment wall, they proceeded to scale the wall and depart the area. These guys were basically like MacGyver.
I'm not real sure how the hell a toothbrush is going to get through rebar, though.
Well, they had a metal piece as well, but they said the rebar wasn't tied. So once they got through
Gotcha.
Yeah. They was probably trying to get away from the sisters. This sounds like Andy Dufresne, doesn't it?
Right?
You think there was a poster hanging on the wall?
Right.
Yeah. Those fools, rather. The sheriff said those tools facilitated their access to the. I already read that part. All right, here we go. Tips helped police track Garza and Nemo down. You'll never guess where they caught them.
The pub.
A 24-hour IHOP on Mercury Boulevard in Hampton, about 7 miles from the jail. Hampton police were called to the restaurant around 3:30 in the morning on Tuesday and arrested them without incident. These guys broke out of jail.
And went to IHOP. I mean, they got some daggone good pancakes.
Well, I would at least get arrested at a Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yeah, go for the cheesy taters. The hash brown
Right?
casserole.
You know you're going back.
Yeah.
Sheriff Gable Morgan thanked the community for its assistance. Charges related to the escape are pending, the sheriff's office said. A criminal and internal investigation are being conducted as the sheriff's office works to prevent such an escape from happening again.
And the escapee said it was worth it.
And biscuits and gravy. You know what? People amaze me. They can come up with some of the most amazing ways to get around problems. Uh-huh. I mean, that's what we do as human beings, right?
But they couldn't do that to stay out of jail.
They come up with this problem solution, right? Like we come up with the wheel, we come up with fire, we come up with all these amazing things to accomplish things. But then they shit the bed by going to an IHOP.
Right? Probably still in the clothes that they were wearing.
Oh, geez. It's so bad. And then the locals turned them in. So, anyway. All right, here's my third story, and this is arguably my favorite of the entire week. I think we got video of this, too. And if anyone has stuck around to watch the end of this is going to be worth it by itself. Story 3, this comes to us from, guess what state?
Florida.
You got it. A Florida boater who has been given the nickname the Spring Break Squatter is wanted for defecating themselves on someone's backyard.
So that's why he's the squatter.
Now look at this lady here.
Or is it a she? Oh my God.
You're watching the video here.
Oh.
This lady got off a boat. She snuck into this backyard, drops trowel, and then plants a fence post right there. But apparently they didn't want a fence right there. Then she pulls her britches up, Doesn't wipe if
Does
clearly.
not wipe. Doesn't even grab a leaf.
Oh, and then just escapes out the backyard. The bizarre footage was captured by a nearby security cam and now has been seen by tens of thousands of people on Facebook and YouTube. The footage
She
was
should have gone into the water and just pooped in the water
Right.
or something. I don't know.
yeah, like Eddie Murphy said, a big brown shark came. The footage was posted by the Polk County Sheriff Grady Judge, who is still on the lookout for the mystery squatter. Can you imagine that you get outed on a Facebook page of you dropping a deuce in public? Like this lady, and I love that Shook is like, we got to keep Shook. Look at her. She thinks she's safe. This is why I'm telling you that
Cameras are everywhere.
Judd said in the video surrounding the clip, he has noted that
I just want to know, like, that was really quick, too.
it was a quick deuce. Yeah.
Like, she was...
That was built
That
up.
was, yeah.
That was an all day thing.
That was like one of those, this is my last resort. I'm going to crap my pants if I don't go in these people's yard.
The video, now for our listeners, the video clearly shows her walking and looking around the garden before she starts to squat and relieve herself. Sheriff Judd then called to imagine what viewers would think because there's my first thought. You know, I feel for this lady to a point because everyone has to take a shit. And no one wants to take a shit except at home. That's your like no one likes a road game.
Nobody likes the away games.
Right. And so she goes into this yard, and I think to myself, this poor woman, like everybody in the world knows her now. Like, oh man, saw you on the internet this weekend. Imagine,
What's up, Shitty Sherry?
oh my God, Squatter Potter. Like, all these people at work are just gonna be just
Oh, man.
Andy Floyd, I'll get to it, buddy. Yeah, so this lady goes in there and she takes a shit. Well, then the sheriff said something that the moment I thought of this, I'd be like, yeah, he's right. He goes, I want you to think for a second. What if somebody stopped their car or their boat and walked into your yard and started doing the number one or the number two right there in your hedges? And then I thought about it. That would piss me off. If somebody...
I don't even like to clean up the dog crap, yet alone
Right.
people crap.
How weird would that be, though, if you watched on your Ring camera, somebody pulls up, hops out, and just randomly shits in your yard in the middle of, like, an entire neighborhood? Do you feel like it's, like, vengeful, like they intentionally picked you? You would be thinking that.
Right?
It can't be just...
Who was that?
Why'd they do a random shitting?
I bet they took the batteries out of my remote, too.
Oh, man. There you go. Took all my missing socks to wipe their
Right?
ass. Investigators say that whomever did this was able to access the side yard of the home by coming across from a boat on the lake. No details about the boat were made available. I think there should be a yard sign that says you have a camera,
Right?
but it has like a camera and then a picture of like a person taking a shit.
And say no dookie in?
And yeah, but then they know. Like this lady obviously didn't see a camera. And that is...
And she just thought she was safe hedges.
Well, exactly. And that's my whole point to this story, I think, is you have no idea where cameras are today.
No.
There's so many people that get caught now killing people that they think they're okay, and it's a Ring doorbell that is used as the evidence.
Yeah.
I just think to myself as a 44-year-old that I'm so happy that I grew up in a camera age where they weren't on my phone.
I know, but on the other hand, it's kind of funny when you catch people falling over steps or...
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know.
I just want you to think of 5 things that you've done as a child. By child, I mean up until your mid-20s.
Oh.
That pick the 5 worst that if somebody could have seen it. Yeah, see that? Yeah, suddenly
yeah,
it
well.
changes it.
Yeah. And not only did people see it, but then they posted it out for everyone else to see
Oh.
it. That's the biggest thing.
It's been seen by tens of thousands of people watching this lady drop a deuce. People know who that is.
Right.
It's the talk of the town.
They're like, oh, is that that's my cousin?
Oh, she didn't wipe her ass.
She did not even wipe her ass.
All right, here's our 4th story. We're going to try to get done by 9 o'clock. Our 4th story, so much. Have you been watching everything going on in the news lately? There's so many court cases.
No.
I don't know if you just saw about our ex-president. That's the only thing I'm going to mention.
There's like lots of, what is it, 34?
34.
felonies or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Or- don't know.
I ain't even paying attention.
Okay.
But then we just had an actress that, help me out here. The skiing incident. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
She got sued. I can't think of her name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This
No, I have no clue.
this is where we need viewers to pipe in. It's been a big deal. Anyway,
Okay.
the point of this is there's lots going on in the courts, and here in Wayne County, it's been made a joke about how many times people get divorced. I don't know if you've ever been through such a thing.
Never.
I have. It happens to a lot of people, and there are a lot of instances where in a household that one person would be the breadwinner that may go off and work, and then one person would stay home and be the homemaker and raise children and take care of the home and that sort of thing. Okay.
I've heard of such type of things.
Yeah,
But no.
it's not very common.
No, not anymore.
Unless the Gwyneth Paltrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
So anyway, if you are potentially going through a divorce and you are not the one that was out working, you were the homemaker, you are definitely going to want to take note of this story. Or maybe if you're just a divorce lawyer, this might be something you can start arguing. A man in Spain has been ordered by the court to pay his ex-wife $215,000 for 25 years of unpaid domestic labor.
Wow.
Yeah. The record divorce settlement was calculated by Judge Laura, it was a woman, shocker, right? Laura Ruiz Almeninos, based on the annual minimum wage throughout the couple's marriage, the iNews reported. The man must also pay his ex-wife, Ivana Morel, a monthly pension of $527. Listen to this one. This one's interesting. I guess this is like child support, but this is pretty good money. $422 to a 20-year-old and $633 to their 14-year-old, respectively. So he's paying all that kind of money. But Morel said she and her daughters were left with nothing when the couple who married in 1995 divorced in 2020. She said, "I was supporting my husband in his work and in the family as a mother and a father. I was never allowed access to his financial affairs. Everything was in his name." So I'm sure there's a lot of people that can relate to that.
Oh, yeah.
The record divorce settlement was calculated based on the annual minimum wage throughout the couple's marriage, according to reports. Morel was asked to sign a separation of goods agreement when she got married. So she signed a prenup. Okay?
Yeah.
Meaning he would keep his wealth and they would split common possessions. Well, the court in southern Spain's Valles Malaga heard that during the marriage, Morel's ex-husband, who was not named in the suit, built a successful gym business that allowed him to buy multiple luxury vehicles, an olive farm valued at $6.4 million. So this guy's out making all the money, and she's at home taking care of the house, taking care of the kids.
And then gets minimum wage for it.
Well, she didn't get anything. I mean, she was just sitting at
Right.
home, right? Or not sitting at home. That sounded rude. She was taking care of the home.
Yeah.
I'm defending this woman here. She said she hoped her case would inspire other women to know that we can claim for housework when there is a separations of goods agreement. Morel's lawyer told the iNews the ruling represents the labor of all women in the shadows. He said so he could go on and get in his career. She stayed at home and took care of the children, and they never contacted anyone to help her. She was in his shadow, working behind him so he could rise professionally and become someone. I think this case is going to be referenced a lot.
I bet it will.
Yeah, and it's funny to me that it hasn't been mentioned much because you hear about President Trump and you hear about Gwyneth Paltrow and you hear about some of these other cases. But I actually would be interested to know how many women that would listen to this podcast potentially would go, well, shit, I've been doing that. I'm going through a divorce. Why shouldn't I get entitled to something?
I signed a prenup, and now I can actually get something out of it.
Well, what do you think?
I mean,
What do you don't like it?
I don't know. I'm so torn on it because, like,
Why are you torn?
you don't sign the prenup.
Oh,
They're doing a prenup, then you just move on. You go to something else.
you think that is... What if she hadn't signed the prenup?
then she probably would have got way more.
She would have got half of that olive farm.
Right. But
That's
no,
a great
I mean,
point.
I do feel like she should have something. But I'm really surprised knowing that he has an olive farm like in $6.7 million and she gets like $500 a month.
Yeah, it seems pretty low, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, here's our fifth and final story. We can go into that one deeper if we need to, but I don't think we do.
Nah.
Yeah, good deal. All right, here's our fifth and final story. I said that really fast. A California man who racked up almost 3 dozen charges and 10 arrests in the past month was not...
in the past month?
In the past month. So this guy, let me jump to the details. From February 19th to March 21st, 38-year-old was booked into the Fresno County jail system 10 times.
I mean, St. Patrick's Day was in that time frame.
6 of the arrests happened in Colvis, and 4 happened in a city, Fresno. The most recent came as officers intercepted a stolen vehicle and found him in the driver's seat. Now, this is where it gets
Like,
really
they
good.
weren't even in the same town, so it's not like, oh, we got to keep an eye. We let so-and-so back out.
Kind of. One town arrested him 6 times, and the other town arrested him 4 times.
Holy crap.
The officers, this is the greatest part. This is the 10th and final arrest. Officers located the stolen truck and initiated a high-risk traffic stop right outside the Clovis Police Department around 9:30 in the morning on Thursday.
When he got out.
He was no. The police said he was the only person in the stolen vehicle and was actually on his way to pick up his personal property from our department when he was arrested.
He went to the police station in a stolen vehicle to go get his stuff.
Yes.
For crying out loud.
Now listen to what this guy accomplished in 30 days.
Okay.
And this is why I asked, how much do you read? How much do you try to get, maybe walking? How many steps you try to get in a month? In just 30 days, this man racked up 18 felony charges.
Felony.
15 misdemeanors, 6 stolen cars, DUIs, drugs, vandalism, and fraud. All in a month.
I mean, he's busy.
He's got so much bail money, apparently.
Good. Night.
There just isn't a cure for stupid.
How many felonies before they keep you longer than 24 hours?
Well,
for?
it
Like,
is
I don't
definitely,
get it.
and it's funny because we share these stories on here for fun, just to kind of lighten the mood. And we've all struggled. We go through long days. And Adam Green, that is right. That is commitment. And actually, I think if he tries hard, he could get 15 times next month.
Man alive, if you don't have goals, what do you have?
He better have a good bail bondsman. That's all he needs. The reason I share these stories is because we want to have fun and we want to share this kind of stuff, but it also makes you think, why should somebody be able to get arrested 10 times in a month?
Right.
That's wild to me.
David Meyer said, still didn't steal a street sweeper.
That's very true. Very true. All right. Well, Gibbler, we are right at the hour limit, so we're going to call it a show.
Well, hold on.
I saw that you leaning in.
Uh-oh.
We need a postal service update.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
All right. Actually, this is kind of funny, and I'll make this brief. If you haven't been listening to the show before, basically actually, it's been almost 3 months ago, I sent baseball cards in to get graded, and I dropped them off at the post office, and they magically disappeared somewhere between Richmond, Indiana, and Indianapolis, Indiana. I took out insurance on them, and I paid for them to be shipped, and then nothing happened. And so then I tried to get my insurance money, and they denied me multiple times. So I'm in my second appeal process trying to say, hey, you guys lost my stuff, and I paid for the insurance, yet you haven't even refunded me the $10 I paid for the insurance. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Right?
Right? Well, here's
They want people to give up.
Yeah, so I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I appreciate Andy Floyd checking in, but here's the only new update on the case that came this week. They sent me an email wanting me to do a survey on what I think of the U.S. Postal Service.
I think they can shove it.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, this is the last person that you want to send this to right now. And so, yeah, they've asked me to give my opinion of the U.S. Postal Service.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you, every day I look at that and I think I go onto their webpage every day and I check and I'm like, today's the day I might get my money, or today's the day
Then I go postal.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to me that I paid money to our own government. That right there should have been my first problem. And
They're so reliable.
and they're taking my shit and not even apologetic about it. Like it
They're
is,
like, no, prove it was your shit. Prove you paid for that shit.
oh, they don't even, and it's wild is so, we don't have a lot of listeners on the show. We now with the views, we probably have around 400 people that watch the show or listen to the show every episode. That's pretty good now.
I think so.
Yeah, thank you so much to Kevin Shook. So I thought to myself, the only thing that I have of any value to get this story out here is this podcast, and I'm absolutely going to do it. So if you're watching and you have a reason to bitch about anything, feel free to just message us. We'll bitch about it with you.
Right?
We're happy to bitch about stuff that's unfair to people.
Yeah. But also on another note, use FedEx or UPS.
I did. I actually sent more cards in yesterday, hand to Bible, and I used FedEx. It cost me considerably more money.
But the shit is in transit.
It was in California this morning. Wasn't
There you
lost in Indy. All right. Well, again, if you're watching this show, thank you so much. If you listen to the show, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. If you get a chance, review the show. Join us live when we record these. Give us a share. Review us. Anything you can do. Give us some ideas. Mark Stringer, we will absolutely get to the origin of the word okay next week.
Okay.
And K, that's another one. Oh, we can talk about that too. It drives me nuts when people
hate
say
it.
K.
Nope, don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Nothing says I'm more important than you than I don't have time to type 2 letters. I've only
Right.
got time to type 1.
Like, most of us actually can talk to text and you just send a K.
Oh, yeah.
Oy.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, all right. Gibbler, thank you so much for the giblets. Kevin Shook, thank you so much again for helping with the show. AJ, thanks for helping put the content together. And but most importantly, at the end of every show, every radio show I do, I say the same thing. If you see someone out there that you think is struggling, they probably are. It would mean a big deal to me and to Gibbler and to anyone associated with this program that feel free to reach out to those people. Just ask them how their day was, how they're doing, just what they think the Reds' chances are of winning 50 games this year. Anything it takes, just reach out to them. You'd be amazed how something so small might mean the absolute world to someone, especially when they're at their darkest hour. So thanks again to everybody. Gibbler, I guess without further ado, we will talk to them all next time.
After 2 beers.